And I could have probably made this all happen without money, but it would have been kind of a pain. Hey guys, how are you? My name is Connor. You are watching ThrivingMinimalist.com, and today we are answering the question, do minimalists need money? And I'm going to tie this in, but I know that everyone is going to ask this question in the comments if I don't answer it right straight away. What is the thing happening behind you right now? So I live in an RV. It's very hot here. Really excited about this situation that we got lined up, Brittany and I, the other person that I live with. We are parking in a friend's driveway for the next month while we're in Texas, and at nighttime running an AC unit out of the window. And this is just a ratchet strap so we can put it in, put it out, move it in, move it out. And I'm going to relate this all with this video, with money, why minimalists need it, and so on. So it's coming. I got an email recently that kind of spurred this question, asking myself, you know, how I would want to share this with the world. Because the email at first kind of it bugged me, to be quite fair and honest. I was bothered by it. And that's okay to be bothered by things, and it's also, you know, not something that I wanted to hold on to or anything. So I got this email, and it took me a few days to kind of feel like, oh, okay, it's like totally chill and it's all good, and I can write back from a good place and actually take the time to explain myself a little bit more. And out of that, I had this idea to share it with you all. So here's the email. It's like, roughly, this is the email. I'm not going to read it word for word. Hi Connor, I've watched your videos on self-love. You've talked about your 30-day program. That's a program that I sell on my website. And I'm getting interested in it. I wanted to change some stuff, but I went to your website and I see that it costs money to participate in this program. And if you call yourself a minimalist, why do you need money? I mean, do you really need it if you're a minimalist? And the reason I felt annoyed by this, and maybe you can understand why already, is I just felt like, well, of course I need money. And, like, what are you talking about? I like, created something awesome and valuable, and, you know, of course I'm going to put a value on it. But it's a good question, and I can understand how people could look at my lifestyle or other minimalists who are sharing their lifestyles, because we're not all the same, and see that, like, wow, these guys and these ladies and these people are not spending any money. They do not spend any money. Like, some minimalists do spend a lot of money, but you can look at a lifestyle like mine where I live in an RV, so I have no rent. I eat very simply, so my cost for food is very low, because, like, I never go out to restaurants or anything like that. Most of my entertainment comes from self-created entertainment in the form of partner acrobatics with Brittany, the other awesome human that I live with in here. So I don't really spend money on entertainment. And yeah, I mean, there's a bunch of other, like, little pieces to that. Like, I don't own a bunch of cars or vehicles or a bunch of stuff. I really don't buy stuff. You know, I just buy food. So why do you need to charge so much money for a program? Why do you need to charge money at all for a program? Do you really need money as a minimalist? Man, this is great. I feel like there's maybe a misconception, a misunderstanding between people who are interested in frugal living, in budget and savings accounts, and creating and holding on to wealth and really concentrating on finances, and a minimalist lifestyle. Sometimes people are interested in both frugal living and minimalist living. And I've made videos about frugal living. I've made videos about minimalist monthly expenditures, because these topics are really, really interesting. But I don't really care that much about frugal living. The reason I'm a minimalist isn't so that I don't need money, or that I don't need wealth, or that I just focus on frugalness. I'm a minimalist because it serves me, and it actually brings more abundance into my life. My whole mindset is abundance-based living. So minimalism is not about scraping by. It's not about working hard. It's not about creating a tough environment for myself just so that I can save some money or not spend some money. I'm a minimalist because I want to focus on the things that are truly, truly important to me and that bring the most amount of value into my life as possible. And I want to just do away with the stuff that really doesn't serve me. And that's just like kinda okay. I want to take the kinda okay stuff and upgrade it into awesome. And what I found is, I used to live with a bunch of stuff that was just okay. And now I live with just stuff that is super awesome. It's a lot less stuff, but everything that I own, everything that I do, the people that I relate with, the wealth that I create is awesome. It is awesome. So the question, do minimalists need money? No, they don't have to have money, but no one needs money. But what is it that we actually are getting from money? In my case, this is just an extension of abundance. So abundance can come in a lot of different forms. It doesn't have to come in money. And really, money is just a translation of energy. And I know that we have like a fiat currency and it's not really based on anything and all that stuff. And there is a lot to be said about that understanding of money, but that's not what we're talking about here. For like just a basic understanding of economics, money is the exchange of energy. And so if I create something and I put a value on it, that's me saying, I put in this amount of energy and I really think that it's worth this much because of the value that it will bring to your life. I think it's worth this much of your energy. And you know what I'm really saying there? And I think this is the more important thing, is I value myself enough to ... And that is super important to me. And it's super important to me that you feel like you are generating that in your life. That you are putting yourself first and holding yourself up at a certain value and holding the creations that you are involved in at a certain value. Some of that initial annoyance that came out of receiving this email was like, hey, you're not valuing me. Like, you don't see, like, I'm putting a value on myself and my creation, and you're not valuing that, and you don't see that I feel something about this. It's not just the money. It's me saying I am valuable. The things I create are valuable. Does that make sense? And I think that's where we can get confused in our work and stuff like that, because we're trying to create this idea of wealth, but we don't necessarily feel valued in the creation of that. But you can. You can. So I am solely an entrepreneur, and I work totally for myself, and I absolutely love what I do. So my feedback is really easy to get these days. When I get money out from the world, I immediately feel like value for myself, because the thing didn't have to go through another vein. It didn't have to go through another filtration system, where you might be working for someone else. And so your value might not feel like it's directly related. Like when you get your paycheck, you don't feel like I directly created that. But you did. You did. And when you get that paycheck, it's awesome to feel like, yes, I deserve it, and yes, I just exchanged this amount of my energy for this amount of exchangeable energy. And that feels really, really good for me. I said I was going to tie in how this relates to this video, and it's quite simple. You know, do minimalists need money? Absolutely not. Do you need money? Probably not. I mean, you can make it work without money. You can dumpster dive, you can live in a box, you can probably live pretty abundantly, actually, without money. I'm certain that you do. But for me, money brings ease into my life, like so much ease. It's so simple to take money and exchange it for the things that I really want and for the things that I genuinely need. And what I really frickin' needed this month was to sleep in cool weather. I needed it so bad. I love sleeping in an RV. I love this being my home, and it was also getting too hot at night for me to get the rest that I needed. And rest is a pillar of health. And health is one of the most important things to me. So I exchanged money for this parking space, and the ability to plug in to the home where it's at and hook up this AC. And last night I slept 9.5 hours and I'm feeling like a brand new human being. And I could have probably made this all happen without money, but it would have been kind of a pain. And I am not into limiting myself. I'm not into struggling. I know there are people out there who really want to pinch pennies and that are proud of it, and that's awesome. It sounds like for those people that that is actually fun, you know, that it brings joy into their life. And if you're pinching pennies and it's not fun and it's not bringing joy into your life, then I would suggest that maybe that is a resistant base path, and that there might be something that feels easier and like you can get into the flow and have fun in life without having to do it that way. For me, I'm not into pinching pennies. I love putting a value on the things I create. I love feeling like the world is validating that by buying those things. I love feeling like I'm not forcing anyone to do anything. I'm just saying like, hey, I made this thing. Or, hey, I can give you this thing in the form of therapy. And if you feel like you want that thing, then you can buy it. And if you don't, then you don't have to. And I love that exchange. It's just so simple. It's so simple and it's so beautiful. It's just lovely. And I think that there's a lot of other stuff we've kind of wrapped up in the idea of money that maybe is close to our heart, that we have fears about, or we have assumptions about, or we have expectations about. And if you can just kind of let that stuff go a little bit more, I think the more obvious exchange becomes clearer. So I don't think minimalists need money. I don't think that I need money, but I really like having money. And I'm not obsessed with getting a lot of it, but I am obsessed with self-care, self-love, self-appreciation, putting myself first. And I've found that money is a helpful part of that process. I'm curious what you have to say about that. And by the way, if you are the person who wrote me this email, I just want you to know, like, I'm not poking fun at you or anything like that. I really wanted to share from a heartfelt place. And I did write you an email back, and I was feeling very compassionate and loving at the time, so I hope that it felt that way for you. It really did encourage me to think about this stuff a bit more, so I thank you for that. All right, much love to you guys. I will check in with you soon. Take care, and talk to you later. Bye-bye. Hey guys, just wanted to check in with you real quick at the end of this video and remind you about my 30 days program. Monkey recently did it and he is full of self-love. This is a great program. It's a 30-day program full of emails, meditations, exercises, videos. Check it out, thrivingminimalist.com. If you have any questions, you can contact me at any time regarding the program or setting up a therapy or coaching session with me. Thanks for the support. Much love. Bye-bye.